everyone to Circle the Way Podcast. This is the host, Stevie's one I see here with my other host, Mr. DeLorean himself, Mike De Niro. And today, ladies and gentlemen, we have an incredible guest here on the show. And of course, his mentor spoke very highly of him that we had here on the show previously. That is Sim Bodie, of course. But today, we have the man who, by God, is an aerial chemist for the reason, ladies and gentlemen. He's also the flip artist as well. And he's also the FSW No Limits champion. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome Matt Vandagriff, the aerial chemist. How are you, Matt?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Doing good, man. Welcome to the show, and I appreciate you for taking the time once again. So, Mr. Vandagriff, so you have an upcoming match coming up this Friday at PCW Ultra Set in Stone, and you're familiar with this individual. I mean, it's been a while that you have not faced this individual, but you know, I want to know, I mean, what should we be expecting as you will be facing, of course, a radioactive Papi, Daddy Limelight. I mean, what is the last time you guys met in the ring, and what will be different, the outcome for this matchup this Friday, and how are you preparing for this match?
Man, last time I think we wrestled was before I moved to Vegas, so probably like 2018, maybe summer 2019. So it's been a few years since me and him have actually stepped across each other in the ring. Different wise this time than past matches. We're probably both going to go into this smarter and more wiser and more matured. So we'll have different strategies compared to what we would have gone into the match 3 or 4 years ago. Different skill sets than what we've had. We've both have done different things. He's done like MLW, AEW stuff. I've done some AEW stuff. So we've both matured and grown up a lot in the past 3 or 4 years. So it should be an interesting dynamic now compared to what it was.
Oh, indeed, absolutely, and I'm looking forward. To seeing this. I think this is going to be maybe the Steelers, you know, the match of the night. You never know.
Very well could be. That's all I produce. That's all I produce are matches of the nights.
That is right. That's right. That's why you're the aerial chemist for that reason. Love it.
I like the confidence. Definitely. I mean, you guys have both been around for a little bit and both been putting on the show every time I see you guys. So I'm definitely excited for this matchup on Friday at PCW Ultra. But you just mentioned that you were on AEW a couple months ago. You was on AEW Dark. What was that experience like?
Yeah, I did. Sorry, you cut out.
Oh, sorry about that. I said.
You cut out a little bit. Sorry. Yeah.
No, it's all good. I said a couple months ago you was on AEW Dark. What was that experience like for you?
There.
Were you saying I was on AEW? The Dark stuff?
Yeah. I was asking, what was the experience like at AEW? I don't know is my mic working?
It was unique. It was different. Everyone was chill. It was weird at first because when I got there, they like had all the matches lined up, and then out of 5 shows, I didn't have a single match. And then someone just didn't show up, so I got put into a match last minute. So I was able to still get a spot on the show and do something. But awesome. Other than that, it was a cool experience. You know, I got to wrestle at Universal in the studio. So
that's awesome.
Hopefully, would love to go back and do other stuff with them, but never know until they hit you up.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely. You've been having an incredible, astonishing career for the past couple of years that I've been noticing you. I mean, besides being the pinnacle for future stars of wrestling, I mean, you're the No Limits champion. You had fantastic matches with Chris Bay, Jay Vidal, of course, which was one of my favorite storylines. You know, loser has to leave FSW. I do remember that. So I really enjoyed, you know, just that storyline. Yeah. I know you guys are best friends, and I mean, you guys are like brothers. But man, what a storyline! What a fantastic storyline you guys put. I really enjoyed it. But the one who caught my attention was also Paul London. I see you recently. You had a match with Paul London. So and I want to know the experience. How was that experience? You know, being in a ring with Paul London, just another, a legend himself, who's aerobatics as well. It's very well known.
It was a very last minute thing. I was originally supposed to wrestle Fatu, but he had double booked himself, I believe. So he ended up doing the other show. So I didn't find out I was wrestling Paul London until like the night before. So I was like, oh, cool, dope. Like I grew up watching Paul London. It's like one of my favorite tag teams. Like this is gonna be awesome. And then I was like, when I met him before a few years ago, and then I did like motion capture with him once. So that was pretty cool. So he knows me. He says he likes my stuff. He's a fan of mine, which is really cool to hear from someone you grew up watching.
Yeah,
But
sure.
yeah, it was really cool. Just I guess it was like his first match in like over a year. So it was one of those, which is really cool. But still, like just the opportunity to wrestle him and be able to get in there with someone like that was just amazing. It was like one of those things where like, oh my god, am I really like wrestling someone I grew up watching right now? Like it's just like it doesn't hit you until like after it happens. And then also like when like they put you over, it's like, oh shit. So it was cool.
Oh man, that's awesome, man.
So what is that experience like when you're facing somebody that you grew up watching or someone that's on national TV? Like, does it bring out like a new monster out of you? Like, do you like rise to the occasion? Like, what's that experience for you?
One of the cool experiences about it is that the people booking the show trust you to be able to go out there with someone like that.
Yeah.
So like that's not a spot that I believe like you can just give anybody. Like you gotta have trust in the guy to work something like that, especially since he hasn't had a match in a year and it being thrown together very last minute. But like experience and stuff is like it's really cool because like you can learn. You never stop learning, and you always learn something from people like that, whether it's in the match, before the match, or after the match. Just talking about it and going into it and out of it is just many things.
Most definitely, yeah.
Definitely. And I want to get your brief, just a brief thoughts. I mean, the experience basically. I know that you're a former Santino alumni. I know you began there, when you started your career and you started your journey, and then you move on to to Vegas and to now be full on training with Future Stars Wrestling, alongside with Bodie and a lot of incredible trainers that you guys have there. How's the the difference experience? I mean, shout out to Joey Chaos, another great coach, a great mentor as well from Santino's. But besides also with Sin, like, what was the the experience? I mean, so far the experience from Santino's that you have taken to Future Stars and developing your craft and how the experience working with all these the awesome trainers that you have currently.
So starting at Santino's, I felt like it was a great place to start. Just I was already living in California, so every time I looked up schools, they were always the first school that popped up. So I moved down to SoCal and so I trained there and learned all like my basics, my lucha, the whole year program. Debuted with them. And the one thing I like about Santino's is that like they pushed you. They made sure you want it. Like they wanted to make sure like this is what you want. Like and like for me, like when I started, I think I started like 2 weeks late because like just how I moved out there and everything. Like they let me come in like 2 weeks late. But like when I got there for my class, there was like 12 or 15 students. And then by the time we got like 3/4 through like the year, I was the only one left. So it was like survival of the fittest type thing. And it's like they make sure you want this. And like I just did a show for them a few weeks back, and like they have a lot of great guys and talent coming through that they've been training. So they have a lot of good things coming out of that school. And then coming to FSW and training with Sin, he helped me a lot with like the fine tuning of things, like the little in between stuff, and like just how he explains everything too, like, is more relatable. Like I'm more of a visual learner than I am like talking. So just those little things, and then helping me like be able to cover up anything if like something does go wrong or it's not supposed to go the way it's supposed to go. That way you guys don't know that it didn't go wrong. Like stuff like that. Just a lot of the little things in between stuff and the like presentation of some stuff.
Right.
Both schools great in different ways. So
That's
No,
awesome.
that's definitely awesome. So to take you back a little further now, tell me about getting into the business. Like, what made you want to get into this business? What was some of your influences and things that really like caught your eye when you first got into professional wrestling?
I've always wanted to be a wrestler since probably like junior high. So high school, I started like looking up schools because I'm from Northern California, like Central Valley area,
Okay.
and every time I looked up the wrestling school, like Santino's was always the first one that popped up, no matter like what you typed in for wrestling schools in California or whatever, always the top one. And then like, and the reason the wrestlers that I grew up like enjoying was Jeff Hardy. Just like the first, he's like the first real reason I started watching wrestling was back in 06 when like he returned and like Edge was they displaying the rated R title. And all of a sudden like his music hit and like he comes out all this funky stuff and like that dude's sick. So he's like the reason I started watching, got hooked since then. And then like throughout the years, like AJ Styles, Seth Rollins, like the Shawn Michaels, those types of wrestlers are what like inspired me and like my type of style and just wanting to be in this and to do this. It's something I've always wanted to do since I was a kid. Hopefully never have a real job ever again.
That's the goal, right?
That is the goal, indeed.
Definitely.
And I hope you reach that goal. And I hope you do.
For sure.
You know, since you mentioned that, what I wanted to ask, so who is the aerial chemist? Who is Matt Vandagriff? How did, is that, besides being, you yourself, but how did you develop, the aerial chemist himself, the character, the personality, the persona?
Just I just take a little bit of things from here and there, like whether it be from wrestlers or movies or TV shows. Like I'm very Joker influenced, so like some of that stuff kind of pops up. Maybe like just the pen, and then I like gothic like type of material, so I was just kind of figuring steampunk gothic stuff out, and then I just kind of I wore the stuff for one show, and like everyone in the back liked it, and fans liked it. So like, okay, well, maybe I can go with this somewhere. Like have some type of still work in progress. Work onto the character to add more to my presentation than just the wrestling, and it's still a lot of work in progress. Just still fairly new, still figuring it out as I go on. But something that I'm really good at all the acrobats and stuff, so I try to still keep that into my arsenal as much as possible. And then working on just trying to figure out how and what I want to do with promos with all this stuff. Like if I'm trying to figure out like beakers and weird stuff. I like weird dark stuff, and that's what I'm trying to influence more into this character. Not like dark like Bray Wyatt dark, but like dark like just like not like mystical creatures or anything like that, but just in a darker sense, more serious Joker-esque tone of things.
So you mentioned about the Jokers, but you mentioned about the Jokers. So which is your favorite Joker of all? Out of all the Jokers you've seen right now in this film, what is your favorite Joker?
Heath Ledger always been my favorite, but Joaquin Phoenix did a great job. And then I do like the Mark Hamill cartoon Joker. That's one of
no one ever says Jared Leto. No one ever says Jared Leto.
I liked his Snyder Cut version.
Yeah, no,
But
definitely. The Snyder Cut version
I
of
don't like
every
his
movie is
laugh.
better.
I don't like his laugh.
Yeah, most definitely me either.
But yeah.
No, that's awesome. What other movies influence you? Like, what are some of your favorite movies?
Pirates of the Caribbean or anything like Johnny Depp-esque. Just like how he like moves and acts and like he does like all the weird movements with his hands or arms or just his facial expressions. Like Spider-Man, like Green Goblin, like Batman's Joker. And like weirdly, like I just watched like that Elvis movie and like I liked a lot of like what he was wearing more say than like what he did, but like how he like dressed nicely and stuff. And like stuff weird stuff like that. And then sometimes I'll see something like, okay, that's kind of cool. I like that. Whether it be like a movie, TV show, it's usually darker shows that I'm more like interested in. Like I was just watching like the Black Phone last night, and I was like, that's kind of some cool, weird character stuff going on there that I liked, and it's just that random stuff that you don't think would work, but works.
Pulling small little things out of everything. Yeah. No, I definitely like that. That's really cool because it makes you more than a one-dimensional character. Like it brings more dimension.
Yeah.
Very true.
For sure.
That's very, very true. You know, want to rewind a little bit back. So, throughout your journey, wanted to get, if you can recall, your experience having your first match. Was it a singles? Was it a tag? Or were you involved in like a battle royal? Or, what was the experience for the first time, performing in front of a crowd, in front of an audience? And
so
you can recall that.
So with Santino's, it's a little different. Probably a lot of schools probably do this, but like Santino's does a whole bunch of like fairs and festivals like in the summers and stuff. So like people will rent out the ring and then like they'll bring wrestlers. And like when they think you're on the verge of being ready, Chaos does like a lot of lucha shows. So he has like a lot of lucha outfits with masks. So he'll like throw like new students that are like that they think like not just him, but like a collective of people that like think that person's ready to like maybe debut soon. They'll just hand you one of their like lucha attire with the mask and be like, you're gonna have a few matches today at this fair. We're gonna kind of see how you're doing, give you a shot, and then we'll kind of go from there. So like I did like one or two, I think, like fair shows under like a lucha thing for them, and then like I made my official debut in August of 2017 in a Fatal 4-Way.
What was your lucha name?
I don't know. They were different every time. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. I've seen other schools do that too. That's really cool, especially like the fairs and all that.
Yeah.
So 5 years into the business,
those things are hot too. So I've never wear a lucha mask.
I can imagine, man. Like I seen some like in AAA where like there's like no nose hole. It's like the full face, and I'm only thinking like, gosh, like how are you breathing in that thing?
Yeah, like one of them, I was in like a full bodysuit, and it was in the middle of summer in California, and I was like, this is terrible. Like halfway through the day, I was like just in the tights. So like I took the top part off. I was like, I can't do this. Like I'm gonna die out there.
Sure, it definitely takes getting used to for sure if you're going full luchador.
Oh man, hell yeah.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
Go ahead. Oh, go ahead, Ivan.
No, yeah, go ahead.
No, I was just going to ask, 5 years in the business, what are some of your crowning achievements so far?
A lot of them are just more of like, got to wrestle in Tijuana a few times for Conan. Being able to wrestle like stars like Rich Swann, Darby Allin, like my first year and like before he got signed. Davey Richards, TJP, being able to do stuff with like EC3 in a Rumble, wrestling I'm actually wrestling Kenny King this Sunday, coming up on the 23rd.
Awesome.
And just like being able to go to different states, and like lots more goals and stuff like that. But also just being able to say that I'm actually doing this is a pretty big achievement. And like, you know, a lot of people say they're going to do something when they graduate high school and then they don't do it.
Yeah, it's a fact.
It's very true.
Not for sure.
But yeah.
That's very true, and we're happy. I mean, we're happy for you. I'm happy that you're getting those opportunities and continues to, getting those opportunities, and hopefully, I mean, when you mentioned about AEW, how you participated in the last minute matchup, hopefully you get that call once again, and heck, maybe for even WWE or any other promotion out there so far. And I mean, now this is off topic of pro wrestling, but if you have one cheat meal, what is it that is the one you eat most of the time when you have that cheat meal of the day? Or do you even have a cheat meal first? I mean, or do you have like a strict diet, or do you just eat whatever you can eat, or
my diet's gotten a lot better in the past few weeks, but like Panda's my cheat. Like Panda is just I don't know, like Panda is just like my weakness.
Panda Express.
Like, you can even ask my roommate.
I love Panda Express. There's not many Panda Express in New York, but there's one, and I will travel for it because it's amazing. For sure. So I'm right there with you, man.
Oh man, definitely, man. Definitely. But obviously, this Friday coming up, PCW, then in Limelight. I mean, hopefully with this, you get this win, and from here right after. I mean, we've been dying to get another shot at that ultra lightweight championship. I mean, the last time you were in that fatal 4-way dual shot, if you recall, the last time you were in it. But I mean, hopefully with this, win over Limelight that you will get this Friday, could we see you going after that ultra lightweight title?
I mean, that's a goal of mine, is to win that championship. I mean, I took the No Limits title off of Jay. I can take that one off him too. So
that is right.
Just hand them over.
Most definitely. But sticking to the match on Friday, though, do you have any last words for Danny Limelight?
I just hope I'm gonna bring the best that I can bring, and I just hope he does the same thing. Again, we both have a different dynamic and more of a official style than what we did 3 to 4 years ago. So it should be very interesting, and I'm gonna bring my best, so he just needs to bring his best if he thinks he's gonna win, because he's not. Because I'm going all the way. Don't care.
That's right, man.
Sounds good.
That is right. Now, last question here. If you were to pick an opponent from either the past or the present and the venue, because remind you, there's WrestleMania, there's Wrestle Kingdom. So, I mean, if you could choose your opponent, who would it be and where would it be?
I want to wrestle everywhere. I want to wrestle the UK, but I don't know. I feel like it'd be cool to wrestle a current star, like a Seth Rollins or an AJ Styles. It'd be cool to wrestle them at like some type of pay-per-view at like the Barclays Center in like Brooklyn or like Philly. Here. It's like one of those areas like where the crowd is like straight just wrestling fans. Yeah. I like a takeover. Probably be.
Yeah.
I'm right here, right next to the Barclays Center, so I hope to see you in the Barclays Center one day soon.
I hope to be there.
Awesome, man. So yeah, most definitely, everybody check out PCW Ultra this Friday. It's going to be a big match between Matt Vandagriff and Danny Limelight. We can't wait, man. Thank you so much for being here.
Oh, man, yeah, absolutely, man. Thank you so much for taking the time.
Thank you for having me.
We appreciate you. Now, before we let you go, Mr. Vandagriff, let the people know where can they find the aerial chemist himself on his social media platforms. You can let him know.
Instagram is Vandagriff. That's VANDAGRIFF_haha. And then Twitter is Matt Vanda 209. And then those are my main ones. So
Awesome.
feel free to
no
follow
Facebook.
me on there. Facebook,
Yeah,
just
like
Matt Vandagriff.
Oh, okay.
Awesome.
Awesome. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure for all you pro wrestling fans up in SoCal, purchase tickets now for PCW Ultra Set in Stone Friday, October 21st at Wilmington, California. Of course, you do not want to miss the aerial chemist going one-on-one with the radioactive active Danny Lime. Make sure you purchase tickets now. Come see Matt Vandagriff as he's probably going to annihilate him with this aerobatics, and I'm looking forward, and I'll be there live in person. So hopefully I'll get to speak to you, after the match, and get your thoughts, over the match as well. So I'm looking forward to seeing you in person. So, ladies and gentlemen, once again, thank you so much for tuning in today, and we will catch you guys on the next one.